Buka bajumu, buka.
Oke guys, let's
Gak
start
ada
ya.
hubungannya guys.
Pin udah dulu ya bercandanya ya. Kita mau start.
Yuk. Let's start.
Yeah, so welcome guys. Hello, welcome to Gem Talk. Topicnya tonight is it's quite interesting ya. It'll be Christian dating for dummies. Doesn't mean that you guys are dummies, tapi we're just gonna talk about this topic and kita bisa share to everyone here what we know or what we experience, and it will be a discussion. It will be interesting. We will share on how to build godly friendship in preparation for dating, and also the roles in dating. But before that, whoever have camera, please can you guys turn on your camera so we can see your faces, and we're gonna start with a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for gathering us here tonight in Gem Talk. Please bless us so that we can learn from your words and practice it in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, next slide, please. Yeah. So, how does building godly friendships help in dating relationships? This is the first question. But before that, I'm gonna present two of my friends, Ale and Calvin, to the stage.
Mas, scotch on the rocknya satu ya? Yeah, that will be it. Thank you. Might as well. Hi, baby.
Hi.
What you up to right now?
Nothing. I'm just watching Netflix at home.
I see. I'm actually at douche bar right now. Wanna come over and hang?
Wait, where are you right now?
Douche bar.
Oh, sure, but I need to get ready first. I need to get changed.
It's okay. Take your time. I'll be waiting. Oh yeah, wear your black dress, yeah? I love to see you in black.
Okay. All right. I'll see you
Okay.
soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mas. Hi, beautiful. I miss you too. I know. We just met yesterday, right? Oh, really? All right, then. All right. I'll be there in the yeah. Love you. Mas, pinta bilnya. Okay.
Hey, sorry, I'm just getting ready. I'll be there soon.
Baby, I'm so sorry. I have to bail. My grandpa was just hospitalized, so I gotta go to the hospital right away.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Is he okay now?
Yeah, he is. But I need to be there ASAP.
Okay. Maybe can I see you next week?
Of course. we'll see each other next week. Yeah, I will treat you with something special. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Okay. See you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.
Oh,
Yay!
good job,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
That's not what to do, yeah, guys. By the way, FYI, if you don't get that, that's not what to do.
So that is all of it was just for entertainment purposes. It wasn't real, and please don't do that, you guys. Yeah. So can you turn on the slide again? Next slide, please. Yeah. So I'm gonna be sharing. Hi guys, my name is Alvan. I'm gonna be sharing today about building friendships. I think I am someone who is in tune with my feelings and emotions. Therefore, it's easier for me to connect with the same type of people. Over the years, I have a couple of friendships with the sisters in the kingdom, which I find interesting and different. So I would like to share my thoughts on that. First of all, I think sisters are built differently than brothers. They are generally more emotional and in tune with their feelings. From the friendship with the sisters, whenever they share their stories to me and I listen, I could learn to understand how they feel and the way they think, which is very different from how we think. It broadens my perspective about how different people feel and think. Therefore, it really helps me to be thoughtful in my actions because in everything that I do, it can affect each person differently. Also, maintaining friendship with a sister definitely takes more effort because you have to be able to connect not just on a surface level, but also at an emotional level. So, through practicing and building friendship with the sisters, I learned about being selfless and how to be like Christ. This is the verse that reminds me of how to be selfless. Let me read it for you guys. Above all, love each other deeply because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Next slide, please. So, going on to the practicals, how should we build friendship with the sisters? Number one is initiative and effort. As you guys can see with the GIF, just say hello first. Don't be shy. It's not that scary. Well, we might be awkward at first, but you'll get better in time. Engage in conversations. Ask them how they are doing. Join activities with them. Put yourself out there. I mean, how can you have friendships if you don't put yourself out there? Number two, respect. So treat them with respect in terms of manners and also the way we see them. It's very easy nowadays for us to objectify women or girls and respect their boundaries. Don't jump into private topics unless they are already comfortable with it or you have been friends long enough. And also, I think it's simple, but it's very real, which is joke accordingly. Sometimes the jokes that we do with our own circles, it's they can handle it, but with sisters, sometimes the joke might be not funny. It might be too rude or harsh for the sisters. So joke accordingly. Next slide. Number 3, be a good listener and understanding. It's like to listen actually takes effort. Like just try to be a good listener. Sometimes people just want to be listened at, not being given answer or advices. They just want people to plainly listen. And after being listened, I think that way alone they can feel better. Like validate their feelings, try to understand why they feel the way they feel. Later on, when you have your own experience, or you need someone to talk to, or problems or struggles, they can also be a great listener and can process your feelings. Last but not least is encourage and support. Don't be afraid to tell them that they're pretty, or when they're doing a good job, or when they're like dressing up nicely. Tell them with respect. Encourage them, whether it's a small success or a big one. It matters. Like a small encouragement can actually make their day, or make them feel better, or they feel better, and then they can encourage other people too. When the world puts such high standards on people, maybe this is where we can start to make a difference. We can start small. And I think that's the sharing from me. I'm gonna pass it to Ale, who's gonna be sharing from the perspective of a woman.
Hi guys, thanks Alvan for sharing. Alvan is also one of my good friends that dulu when we were younger, because I've known him for a long time. Dulu kita kayak suka ada beef nggak jelas gitu. Tapi now we can be good friends and teman curhat. So really grateful for our friendship. So now I'm gonna share how to get douchebags like Calvin. No, just kidding. I'm gonna share how we can build friendship with brothers. Before that, I think I want to share this picture of something very close to my heart. A little bit background about me is I've been in this community for quite a while. So I don't know if you guys can recognize, this is Sammy, this is Gail, this is Josh, and these are some of them are also like part of this church and community. And like I'm just very thankful because being a part of this community really teaches me and gave me an experience what it's like to actually have godly friendships, not just with like girls but also with guys, because like technically with this group of friends, like we've actually like grown up together up till now. And I think I really enjoy being able to spend a lot of my time and building friendships with different kinds of people, but specifically since the talk today is about building friendship with brothers, I want to share a bit about just my personal experience. I think these two verses is really important for me to understand, and I would love to share with you guys. The first one is, dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us and his love is made complete in us. I think why I like this verse, because the Bible never specifically say anything about dating, but everything is just about loving one another, or like a relationship of like brothers and sisters, and then it jump right away into like marriage, like husband and wife. And I think I love how in this verse we love one another not because we want to gain something specific from that person, but actually because God loved us first. And this really taught me to love everyone despite anything. Like God didn't call us to just love the sisters, or like just love the cute brothers, or like just love the brothers that we can only connect. So it really motivates me to treat all brothers equally in the community and in the kingdom of God. So I've had my experience of like in the campus ministry when there were like so many brothers and like so many sisters, and then I was able to like build friendship with all of them. And through that, like not just building like deep friendship with all of the brothers, really taught me like different character of guys, in godly guys. And that gave me a really broad perspective about eventually like who do I actually need as a partner. Because I think in like godly friendships, like I can really see like how the dynamic would work especially when we have like the same values and like rooted in God. So that was very helpful for me to eventually know which kind of person do I actually need that can support my character, that also has the same view of God, and how can we also like be able to serve God together through the relationship. And then the second verse that I want to share is from Ephesians 4 verse 2, which is be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. I think I feel like with a lot of my friendships, like whether it's like school friends or like people that I just meet like hanging out and stuff, it's so easy like when conflicts arise or like, oh, I'm not into that guy anymore, so like bye, and just like delete from contact. But in this community, I really learned that to really bear with one another in love, like actually maintaining and investing in the friendship. So like the photos that I shared earlier is actually one of the examples of actually bearing with one another in love. Like we don't like say just like bye and like I don't want to talk to you anymore, but we actually resolve conflicts together, and whenever there's problems arise, like we help each other out. And I think for me that really helps learning like conflict resolution for my dating relationship. Yeah, so I think these two is very helpful, and I'm gonna share a bit about how the practicals on how we should build friendship with the brothers. Yeah, the first one is be yourself. I think as girls, we tend to be like, oh, I have to look a certain way, I have to dress up this way so that he will like me, or things like that. Sometimes like all of these things are like, we're so consumed by it. But actually, like, I mean, like I would think to myself, like, why would I want to like pretend to be somebody else when I'm actually with someone, gitu? And I think when building like genuine friendships, then the connection should also be genuine, and you should really just show a part of yourself that's real and be able to have a real connection as well. Like whether or not that person is going to be the one you end up with the rest of your life, yeah, whether or not, like it's still going to be a very enjoyable friendship. Second is boundaries. I think as women, like as girls, it's like so easy for us to like fall for someone. And having boundaries is not just like physical boundaries of like, oh, you cannot touch my hand, or like you cannot hug me when we just first met, things like that. But I think emotional boundaries is also very important, like in terms of like, when are we going to start investing our heart to that person? Like if it's like we just met the first date, and then, or like we just hung out like for the first time, and then like I go home and then I start like, oh my God, I'm so in love with this guy. Like it's just gonna create like a lot of emotional things that we don't actually need, and it actually hinders building the friendship, because like we just kept on thinking like, oh my gosh, why did he say that? Like things just like get like emotional quickly. So just having the right boundaries and knowing like where you are with that person specifically is very important to be able to have a high quality and godly friendship. Okay, the third one is treat all brothers equally. This is a very important advice that I got when I was in the campus ministry, when I was single, and when I wasn't sure who I wanted to be with, gitu. Because like when we are able to treat all brothers equally, then we're also not like having that emotional boundary broken, because we're having the same conversations with everyone. We're like hanging out with like everyone at the same pace. Like we're not showing any favoritism. And that really helps to have the right type of friendship when we're actually not dating. So like during the friendship phase, I think it's very important that we can treat all of them equally. So we don't have to like get tangled up with all the unnecessary drama. And then the last one is speaking the truth in love. I think sometimes as girls, we feel like, oh, kayak the brother should lead, like he should know like what to do, and like we just keep quiet and just wait. But actually, the roles of sister is also very important in a relationship. And I think being able to speak the truth in love actually can benefit a friendship, because sometimes there are things that maybe the brother doesn't even notice gitu, kayak, oh, I'm actually doing something wrong gitu. And we can also kayak call them higher, of course, with the truth, and just have the courage to actually speak the truth, because this also deepens the friendship. So like, not just letting all the conflicts arise and then like, oh, just bury it under the carpet, but actually facing it, and yeah, it really deepens the friendship and the conversation. So yeah, here are just some practicals from me and Alvan's personal experience. So after this, we're gonna go straight ahead to Wenzel and Steph, and Grace will be interviewing them for the next topic.
Thanks, Ale. Thanks, Alfan, for sharing. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Grace. Yeah, we have a special treat tonight, hearing from our dear newlyweds, Wenzel and Stephanie.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, they have an inspiring story, and I learned a lot from them. So, God gave us friendships and relationships for a reason, like for us to enjoy, and it's supposed to be beautiful. But even for me, like, sadly, in the past, I took advices from like the OC, Gossip Girl, and like my friends. That didn't get me far. I had my fair share of heartbreaks and like me being a psycho controlling girlfriend. But yeah, that's another story. But without further ado, hi, Wenzel and Steph. Can you introduce yourself and maybe tell us how you guys met?
Hey, thanks, Grace. Thanks. So for those of you who don't know us, my name is Wenzel, and my wife here is Stephanie. We just got married on the 10th of July, so around a month and 3 weeks ago in Bogor during PPKM, yes. And also we dated for 1.5 years. And before that, we got to know each other as friends for 1.5 years, which I will share to you guys a bit about that later. And yeah, FYI, so I don't know if I want to share, maybe I can share it now. So actually, before this relationship with Steph, I was single for almost 10 years, around 10 years. And for Stephanie, she was single the whole life, you know. So basically, I am her first boyfriend, and she is also my first girlfriend in a decade. Yeah. So that's a bit about us.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay, first question is for Wenzel. So, what's your approach to intentionally get to know Steph? How did you practically build a friendship without giving the wrong impression?
Right. Okay. So for us, I think it was a little bit easier because our mutual friend, introduced us as he intentionally introduced us, even though at that time Steph didn't know. But at that time, I had around two dinners with my friends together, like a big group, and then after that we had 2 times private dinner, just the 2 of us, not private, but just the 2 of us. I mean, and then on the second or the third date, I told her that, Steph, you know, I want to get to know you, because I believe that in order to have a right foundation, you have to be clear, right? And then just to communicate everything well. And then I told her that honestly, I made a lot of mistakes in the past about getting to know people, how to get to know people the right way. I made a lot of mistakes, and I asked advice, right? And people have been telling me that, you know, in order to be a gentleman, you have to just say it out and give some boundaries. So on the second or the third date, I told Steph that I want to get to know her, but underline that I want to get to know you as friends. So I told her that, you know, and many times I get emotional, or the girl get emotional, and it becomes not good, you know. And this time I want to do it right with you, I told her, and let's just be friends, and purely friends without anything else. and she agreed to that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, Enzel. Wow, that's really cool. Like, I like how you're very intentional and you're very honest with her, very clear. Guys, take notes. Yeah. So next question. Yeah. So yeah, like what Ali mentioned juga, like tadi, like, girls, like sometimes we get so feely and emotional, and then sometimes we don't have control, and then we get our hopes high. Like, I know for me, like when like dulu a guy yang I suka like text me, like I call all my friends, oh my god, gitu. So like, yeah, Steph, how did you respond intentionally yet still be able to guard your heart?
All right, Grace. Well, I think it really helps that kayak Wenzel tuh clarify gitu that he just want to get to know me kayak as friends dulu gitu, and so I just kind of treated him like casually gitu as a friend, and I didn't like put any pressure on it, or I didn't like put any expectation on it. I just kind of like go with the flow gitu most of the time gitu, and I think I just thought of it like as a phase of getting to know each other. Jadi getting to know each other too is more like really asking the deep questions, really using like your logic more than your heart. I'm a feeler, but I don't know why. Like every time when it comes to guys, like I always get so logical about things gitu. So then, I assess him. Like I see gitu whether his words and his actions actually align. And then kayak I also kayak ask a lot of deep questions, see what I like, what I don't like, and also kayak in a way juga kayak what I like, what I don't like, and then I also question gitu in a way kayak kalau misalnya this guy remains the same, like he doesn't really like change gitu in the next coming years, would I actually like be okay with it and would still want to date him gitu. And in terms of like assessing tuh kayak I think me and Wenzel, our circumstances when we started, it wasn't that great gitu, because I remember we had like 2 dates, and then on a 3rd day, my mom got diagnosed with cancer gitu. So then I was confused gitu, like ini gimana gitu, how am I supposed to tell him like about this gitu. And then I had to leave to Germany for about like 8 months. And then after that, shortly after, like my mom passed away gitu. So our circumstances was just really bad. And I was at a really like emotional place during that time gitu. Jadi I had to ask myself a lot of times gitu, is actually dating Wenzel kayak the best decision atau enggak? Kayak, am I actually kayak, kalau misalnya I date him, is this actually kayak using it as an escape for replacing kayak the loss that I had with my mom gitu? Am I actually kayak ready emotionally gitu? And I think at that time, like I prayed a lot gitu. I seek a lot of advice like from my mentors juga gitu, and I asked a lot of advice from the people that are really closest to me gitu. And I think kayak before even going into a relationship, I also emphasis gitu on the importance of like being content and wholesome dulu gitu as a person. When I'm like single, I invest on relationships with like my family, with my friends, and then especially, with God, because I realized kayak I don't want to put so much pressure on the other person gitu. I don't want to demand so much on the other person in like helping me to be happy gitu. I need to like not make him as the source of my happiness juga gitu. So then yeah, it takes a lot of a lot of patience gitu, honestly, a lot of struggles, a lot of assessing, and a lot of like asking for advices from the right people. And juga in a way, I clarify things a lot with Manzel juga. We talk a lot about our concerns. We talk a lot about our feelings, I guess, during that point, gitu, really making sure, like that we're still okay with each other as friends, really just addressing the concerns, and most importantly, just be really, really real, gitu, and just be yourself.
Just be transparent.
Yeah,
like I told her everything.
Yeah.
Like for example, when we were getting to know each other, I met with other girls, and I would tell her, I'm gonna meet this, and I'm gonna update her as well, and she's gonna do the same too. So just so that both parties know that we're just friends, we're getting to know gitu.
Yeah. And I think juga yeah, before we dated each other, it helps to also clarify the boundaries juga sih.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. I mean, like, I really love what you said, tadi, stuff about like being content with yourself first. I think that's really important. And that's cool, Kaya. Guys, like, we need to reflect, like, and assess our guys very carefully because, like, yeah, like, this is the guy that we're going to be with forever. So thanks for that. Wenzel, in the context of godly dating, what were the struggles and difficulties that you faced in comparison with like worldly dating? Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, number one is the patience. Because in godly dating, you have to actually just take your time. Don't rush things, right? And really assess and not to make any mistakes in PHP the girl and all, right? And for my personal case, I had to wait for 1.5 years, right? And I had to wait actually 18 months, and then it's divided into two series. The first 9 months, I had to just be friends with her, get to know her. And then after I knew her for 9 months, around 9 months, and then suddenly her mom passed away. So I had to be her good brother, lah, basically, on top of Arthur, of course. And then, we were just kind of being really, really good friends. And for me, that was pretty difficult because I had to wait for quite a long time. And balancing between just friends and more than that, that's something that was tricky for me. And I had to seek a lot of advice from my mentor, my spiritual mentor, TJ here. And I remember one time at one park apartment, I had a chat with TJ on my birthday, actually. On my birthday, I asked him, kayak, basically, we chatted lah gitu, gimana ya teach kita about this girl, Stephanie. And then he gave me one good advice, which is just to remain friends with her first, because she's going through an emotional roller coaster. What you have to do is just to be a good brother for her. And like written in the Bible, we have to treat a younger sister as sisters, a younger woman as sisters, basically. And that got stuck on my mind because I think that is correct. I think the way to actually get to know a person is just by treating her as a sister in Christ. Would you harm your sister in Christ? Definitely no, right? Would you take her for your selfish ambition? Definitely no. And that's actually one of the best birthday gift for that year, because that was the apa ya, the catalyst of how we're here together, gitu. There was one incident I can share to you too. There was one incident where we went to Taman Safari together. We were still not dating, and then she said to me, Zul, this was in Safari, so after the date, in the middle of the date, and then she told me, if we're just friends, we shouldn't be doing this, right? And I was like, whoa, you sign up. I mean, you said yes to going on a date, and then suddenly, why are you saying this? And I was so mad at her, I was so mad, and she also realized that I was mad. But then, we were kind of like arguing about that. And then I had to go to the bathroom, and then I prayed there. I prayed, God, can you please just teach me how to love her as a sister in Christ, and not to see her as a potential date that I want to date. And that moment for us is never forgettable. I think we cannot forget about that. And that's one of the reasons why she actually opened up to me, because she felt safe. Yeah. She felt safe that in a way that I don't have to, we don't have to be together. The point of the whole thing is not for me to get her, but for me to get to know her. So that's two different things, and I think that's very important.
Wow, got my respect there, Wenzel. I can't believe you went to the bathroom and prayed. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, that's first half. So like the Tinder culture, and then when like you meet your friends and your relatives after a long time, they're always like, udah ada pacar belum? Oh, you're still single? Why are you so picky? Gitu kan? So how to deal with pressure from parents or society, but at the same time keep your convictions with God?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, like being single for 27 years is not easy. I mean, I've already gone through the phase of like being frustrated with God. I mean, kind of like asking him, gitu, ini mana ya, kayak every year I pray on my birthday, gitu, kayak pengen pacar gitu. And then in a way, society juga kayak saying that, oh, like you're just picky gitu, kayak kenapa sih nggak mau with this guy, kenapa sih nggak mau with that guy gitu ya. But I just feel like, yeah, I just had to be honest with myself gitu, you know, in a way. I believe in like God's timing, and I really believe gitu kalau misalnya things are meant to be, kayak then it is meant to be gitu. And in a way, ya kenapa harus divorce gitu, you know. Some things that are worth it is usually like worth the wait gitu. So then ya udah, just like be patient and jalanin the whole process gitu. And I also think of it like, you know, marriage is a whole lifetime, and in comparison, and it's the most important decision that we must make in our life gitu. So then, yeah, why not really think it through gitu kan before you actually make the decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Steph. Words of wisdom right there. Wenzel, this question. Okay, so what are your thoughts on spiritually leading, and how do you achieve that? Because like, yeah, husbands should lead their wives, kan. So how did you do that?
Yeah, I personally believe that the husband or the man has to lead the woman. Like, I think that's written in the Bible as well. And I think many ways you can do that, in my opinion. And one of the cliche ways is maybe just have a cutie together, a quiet time. You know, that's very cliche. In the world, people do that and they see it as, you know, we're a very spiritual couple. But, you know, don't get tricked. That's just one of the ways, you know. And in my opinion, I think what's more important is just the man just show a godly character. Just, I mean, not just read the Bible. That's one of the things, you know, that you can do together, but show that you are actually a man of God. Because I think action speaks louder than anything. Then action speaks louder than reading together. Action speaks louder than words, you know. And I think to lead someone, you have to actually be the real godly person in the first place. That's why we have to really be connected with God before we can successfully connect with other women in the right way lah. Gitu. If we don't know God, then how can we direct people towards God? Gitu? How can you direct the woman towards God? So I think it has to show in your own character. And nggak usah hipokrit, atau nggak usah jadi pura-pura lagi deketin cewek and then jadi spiritual. You know, just be real, gitu. Yeah.
Wow, that's fun too. Doing quiet time. That's definitely not the world too. Doing quiet time together, but that's cool. Okay, now we're talking about COVID, right? Like we're talking about I want you guys to think about like dating the right way. Since you guys married in the middle of COVID, shed some light of like the difference between dating online versus in person. Cause like what things can you do and like places you went. So like, yeah, we want to hear the practical, guys.
All right. Okay. So I think, in my opinion, dating in the COVID time or non-COVID time, I think it's practically the same. You know, in my case with Steph, for 8 months we had to communicate through the internet because she was in Germany, I was in Jakarta, and we implemented the same principles. What's important is actually the principles that you want to respect the person and you want to clear things out. Benar-benar just be transparent gitu, and just to communicate regularly, not just communicate about the surface thing, but also deeper things on a deeper heart level lah gitu. If you feel something, just share gitu, share your heart, because I think that's also possible during COVID time gitu. I mean, we experienced it. We had 8 months long distance. We got to know each other during those 8 months period in the Germany time. And once you're more comfortable, maybe you can meet up, and meet up and then just do fun outdoor activities together, I think it's the same. As long as you have the principles, I think it's basically the same.
Because I think like the principle is also like again kan getting to know each other kan. Kalau getting to know each other ya basically you don't really need to meet physically. I mean physically kayak also helps gitu meeting in physical, but I think the foundation that is important to really invest in is more of like the emotional and also like the mental connection gitu rather than like the whole like physical infatuation gitu. Kayak that's how we kind of started gitu kan. We discuss a lot about kayak deep things. We discuss a lot about like values gitu. So we got really, really deep with each other ever since the beginning.
Yeah. And I think it is possible. Like for our case, before she went to Germany, we only met for around maybe 5 times. 5 times. And then she left. And then it's not awkward. As long as you guys are transparent about what you feel. If you feel like it's awkward, tell the other person.
That's true.
And work things out, because that's one of the tests juga gitu. How can you work things out together and see whether the other person can respect your opinion and all.
Yeah. And also consistency sih ya. Kayak being consistent with one another gitu really shows kayak whether you are genuine in your interest and care for the other person sih.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Wait, I have a question. Like when you say like when things are awkward, gitu, can you give an example? Like what do you actually say?
Maybe to start with, you have to start with the right foundation, right? That both people have to know that you guys are getting to know each other. Now, once that wall is broken down, you can talk anything basically, because you guys know that we are both having the same interest gitu. If we both have the same interest, then you can be vulnerable gitu. Just share about your feelings. About misalnya awkward kayak nggak pernah ketemu, and then jadi Skype, I mean Zoom one on one terus. If you feel that way, then tell the other person, hey, I feel more comfortable and I feel like we can get to know more in person. Then tell the other person what you feel.
Okay. Thank you. That's clear. Okay. So I don't know when or Steph mentioned about boundaries. So let's look at that. We all love boundaries because that keeps us safe and protected. So what are your boundaries, and like what kind of boundaries did you set up when you had friendship and dating before marriage juga gitu? So your boundaries apa?
Okay, ini for me or both of us? I can start first. For me, in terms of boundaries, well, I believe because I heard the sermon in GKDI in GEM. There was a topic about boundaries, and I remember that the pastor at that time, he explained that boundaries it should serve as guardrails. Okay, in a toll road, for example, there's a guardrail, right? And a guardrail is usually placed before the edge of the road. So if you crash the guardrail, you don't fall immediately, but you still have spare room before you fall. Gitu. So if you fall, you nggak fall you don't fall too deep lah, basically. So in our case, we implement boundaries which were strict juga lah, gitu, strict. Because I know that my sin definitely for man is impurities, gitu. I got tempted on that aspect lah for sure, gitu kan, namanya juga cowok. And I know that if I kiss, I will fall. I may have the tendency to fall. And that's why even before we date, I think it was within our first few five dates, I told her gitu, hey, if we happen to date each other, I don't want to kiss first. Why? Not because I don't want to kiss you, but I don't want to fall into that sin gitu loh. I mean, I am afraid that if we start kissing, then we can lead on to other things, and that's why I don't want to kiss. And then I saw her respond. She was like, "Whoa, apa namanya? I like that." So I was like, "Oh, okay, this girl is on the same page." Gitu. So our boundaries were strict. We didn't want to kiss because we feel like that's the way to go lah. Gitu. Yeah. So on the wedding day, it was actually our first kiss ever. Yeah. And there's a brownie point juga, and you got brownie points for that. I'll show you. I'll tell you later.
Like for maybe to add a little bit, kalau that's more on the physical boundary, kalau emotional boundary mungkin kalau like us girls gitu kan lebih kayak more baper gitu kan. Jadi kalau for me kayak I feel like don't invest or like kayak apa sih keluarin all of your feels kayak langsung gitu in the beginning gitu, you know, kayak so it's like playing a game. Kalau playing a game kan kayak there's like levels kan, so then kayak every time there's a certain stage kayak you unlock yourself gitu. Jadi kalau stagesnya itu kan in dating tuh is like friendship terus dating, and then abis itu engage, and then marriage gitu. So then reveal yourself as it fits to each category and stage gitu. Jadi the more kayak dekat, the more terbuka gitu. The more dekat terbuka gitu.
Yeah, I got that tip from my spiritual mentor as well. Not to love the other person kayak 100% before you get married yet lah. There's still chances, basically. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, those are really good boundaries to have. Thanks for sharing that. I really like that. I'm gonna use that too. Put that. No. Okay, so like this is the last question. We're to close that up before we have breakouts. So stay on, guys. Would you say that your principles in dating help you in your marriage life? And if yes, can you tell us those specific principles?
Okay. I think for me, I think just be honest, be frank with you. It's too early to tell. We got married only 1.5 months ago. But from our experience for the past 1.5 months, definitely yes. Definitely yes. You know, like I can do things that I couldn't do it before we got married. That's one, right? And then I feel like, you know, because we didn't kiss, because we didn't do sexual stuff when we were dating, that serves as an asset to our relationship, in my opinion. For her, for Steph, she can trust me wholeheartedly that I'm not gonna play around. You know, if I can show that during my dating process I was very serious about this, then she has more assurance that I'm not gonna do it in the future. That's one. And then number two, if I were to see her as a sexual object, and if that serves as the foundation of the relationship, then what happens when she gets old? She's not gonna be as pretty or as beautiful as today, right? But now she can be sure that even without that, even without her prettiness, without her beauty, without her beauty lah, basically, well, to put it bluntly, without the sex gitu ya, without the sex, we can still be together and we can still have fun, because that's what we did when we were dating. Beda kalau misalnya when we were dating, we were already committing sexual stuff. Then what happens when you're 60 years old, 70 years old, or 80 years old, when you cannot do that anymore? Will there still be any spark gitu? I hope there is, but there's just apa ya? Lebih now we're more sure gitu that our relationship, the foundation is not about sexual lust, but it's actually real love gitu.
Yeah. And just maybe to add more to that gitu, kalau itu kan more like the big picture gitu. Kalau kayak day to day-nya gitu, mungkin like it's the stuff that we do during dating is actually a good practice for our habits gitu in marriage gitu. Jadi for example, let's say about solving communication issues, and then also being vulnerable and respectful to like one another, and just being honest to one another. And also like whenever we face struggles gitu kan, kayak we always kayak are able to kayak seek advice from mentors, and then we also can get back to the word of God gitu. And it also trains our teamwork gitu, kayak working towards like a common goal. And in a way juga kayak we as individuals gitu, we try to grow as much as possible as individuals so that we can invest it in our relationship gitu, for the sake of the both of us gitu. So I think that really helps us gitu in creating like good teamwork. And also kayak I think also in terms of spiritual, during kayak great times gitu, during happy times, itu juga train our gratefulness gitu, and our heart to come back to God again gitu. Kayak, you know, we after everything that we've been through, you know, during the dating phase, to be here itu I think it's really by the grace of God gitu that kita bisa sampai kayak ke sini gitu, and you know even kiss on the altar and even get married gitu, cause pandemic alone getting married is so hard gitu, kayak kita wedding dari like 400 people cut down to like 30 people, so anything can change gitu. But I mean after all of that, I mean ya apa kita masih bisa di sini tuh ya
The
it's
grace
really
of
by
God.
the grace of God lah.
And I think if to answer that question kayak in a one sentence, I am definitely confident to say yes, that's gonna help in our marriage. Why? Because that's written in the Bible. If you walk righteously, then God will bless you. Udah titik gitu aja sih. I am very confident in that. Gitu.
Yeah.
Gitu.
I mean, wow, amazing. I love how, like you said, this is like the real love, gitu. And yeah, it's really great to see like how much you put God in the middle of your relationship, on top of your relationship, gitu. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing today, guys. Thank you for being real. I love everything that you answered today. So yeah, guys, we're gonna have breakout rooms. We'll have the questions right here soon, and I think we're gonna give you guys 30 minutes, and then we'll come back to the main room to just share a little bit.
Thanks, Wenzel and Steph.
Thank you, Steph and
Guys.
Wenzel.
Guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for allowing us to share.
Juicy sharing, juicy sharing.
Awesome, guys. We're gonna open up breakouts. We tried to make the breakouts split gender this time, so just guys and girls. If for any reason that is not correct when you arrive in your breakout room, don't panic. Just because I don't know everyone's names exactly whether it's a guy or a girl, but just leave the breakout, come back to the main room, and I'll reassign you. So don't panic, don't leave. Everyone stick around for the breakout. It's going to be a great discussion. The questions I think have been put up there. So I'm going to open up the rooms in just 1 second. So do stick around, guys. Great discussion tonight. Continue in the breakout rooms. Okay, open up the rooms. Hi, Jennifer. Do you want to be assigned to a breakout room? Okay, I'm going to assign you over here. Hey, Jeff, Wait a sec, Jeff, yeah? Hold on, Jeffrey.
Okay, okay.
Hang on. Let me put you. Not as many brothers, so I'm trying to find out which which group of bros to put you in. All right. I think Jeffrey will put you in room 9. Ajay, yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Okay, see you, TJ.
But okay. Jess, if you do want to join a breakout, I have assigned you to room 17. So if you do want to join, please click accept. Same with Eduardo. Eduardo, if you want to join. Gabby, if you can hear me. Gabby, I've assigned you to room 4 with Sarah and Kara. If you're able to join, if you can hear me, please do join.